fracture the mind, which is part of the MKUltra programming, is the fracturing of the mind. And make no mistake about it, the targeted individual program is MKUltra, but done in a remote sense.
It's mind control. It's a way to manipulate you and control your behavior, control your thoughts.
This program has the danger of controlling the entire global population to cause assassinations and killings where there is no contact, there is no linkage to the people running the program.
In the media, the truth has become muddied on the issue. British journalist David Aaronovitch wrote an article in The Times where he suggested Havana syndrome was a mind-caused illness that was being misdiagnosed. A number of reports from the Pentagon suggest the culprit for these attacks are backpack-sized, portable devices. However, the headlines always refuse to commit completely, claiming they may, might, could, or are suspected to be the cause. A recent 60 Minutes episode suggested portable classified devices had fallen into the hands of criminal cartels.
What we're hearing about now is
Dr. David Relman is a Stanford University professor of medicine asked by the government to lead 2 investigations. His panels included doctors, physicists, engineers, and others. Their reports in 2020 and 2022 proposed a theory.
the 2 panels, the investigations that I know well, both concluded much the same, which was that the most plausible explanation for a subset of these cases was a form of radio frequency or microwave energy.
They are in possession of evidence that there are civilians that are victims of Havana syndrome, and now they have an obligation to investigate and do something about it. Since they accepted having directed energy weapons, all of a sudden the press came out, some journalists saying, oh, 1 year ago, Department of Homeland Security purchased a portable weapon. And it has come out that supposedly they paid $10 million for it. Do you have a person lurking behind a tree 24/7? How do they see through the walls to attack you? The whole thing is just a complete psyop.
I was contacted by a gentleman that was working for the Pentagon regarding the Havana syndrome situation. He was asking me to hand deliver information. The fact that there is neurostrike weapons, he was referring to them as neurostrike weapons, being used on soil in the United States and off soil in other countries. This is where it all ends. Period.
In 2016, in Havana, Cuba, our diplomats, U.S. diplomats, were complaining about having the sudden onset of a weird sound, followed by severe nausea, vomiting, vertigo, head pain, short-term, long-term memory loss, and more specifically, shocks to the torso and extremities. This phenomenon is real. It's happening to the best of our best in the FBI, CIA, and it is now happening to congressional members. The issue is they only address it as it's happening to federal employees. I did get a phone call from the former head doctor of the CIA, and he said to me, "You are correct. There's significant overlap between the 338 Havana syndrome patients that he's treating, federal employees, and my clients." And what he meant is the symptoms were identical. The CIA and FBI agents who are suffering from this say they have an auditory system, a strange electronic sound. What they're not saying is that they're hearing voices.
It is pretty insane to think that there is a directed energy weapon that causes this incapacitation, that it would only exclusively be used against diplomats or the military. It's nonsense.